E pa dobar dan svima vama koji se sada uključujete, uživo ste na kanalu Radio Televizije Atlas, pratite Pop Kvart, vašu dnevnu dozu kulture. Prva priča nam dolazi sa Broadwayskog pozorišta, vidjet ćete razgovor sa jednim scenaristom, čiji se scenariji igraju uveliko na Broadwayu.
We're back with another edition of Play-by-Play Show of Shows. I'm here at beautiful Chez Josephine Restaurant on Theatre Row. I'm joined by my friend and New York One colleague, Frank DeLella, and a brilliant young playwright, Paul Downs Calazo.
Hi.
Who has written a play, a very provocative play, Really, Really, which is at the Lucille Lortel Theatre. Paul, you've written this play in which a young woman may or may not have been date raped by a handsome young college student who she's been has had a crush on. There are a lot of unanswered questions. How many questions did you feel you had to answer, and how many did you want to leave hanging?
Enough to tell a story and leave enough unanswered to have a discussion afterwards. I went to NYU, so my college experience was very different than the typical college experience. There was no campus. There was no, quad. There was no social hall, or I don't even know what they're called. But so in writing this play, I actually had to do a lot of research on what college life was like. I'm from Georgia, and so a big part of high school life there is college life. But then also pop culture, ranging from Rules of Attraction to Van Wilder, to sort of find what the icon of college life is and let that be infiltrated by reality.
Have you found that the play has gotten different responses according to gender?
Yeah, I mean, but it's not limited to that. It's been different response by age, by socioeconomic class, by region, by political belief. It's literally all over the map, and I try not to let off what I think or let on what I think about the events of the play, and just let people have their reactions at me if they stop me or talk about it. But it's varied, and it's often out of an eruption of their opinion comes, and that's a good thing, I think.
You're a rising star in terms of the theater community here in New York City, with Really, Really being your first show on the New York boards. What have you learned from this experience?
I've learned so much about the preview process and how important it is, and how much you really can change during previews. I've learned about working with actors from television and working with actors who are dying to do a play. And working with young actors, which has been amazing. I think it was almost everybody's off-Broadway debut in the play, and that was so thrilling that we were all going through that together. And I've learned how much work it is and how admirable it is that people stay in this business for so long, and what a tough skin you need.
Paul, coming into this commercial climate, how do you feel it is for young playwrights breaking in now? When
I wrote the first draft of this play, there was no Roundabout Underground. There was there were no real initiatives to bring new voices to the scene, and it seems like that's really changed in the past 6 years. It seems like there's a hunger for what's next.
Well, speaking of what's next, I understand that you are going back to the Signature Theater, where Really, Really had its world premiere down in Virginia, and you are going to go there with your new play, The Pride in the Falls of Autry Mill.
It's very different from Really, Really. I did a lot of research on pride and the difference between pride versus humility and pride versus shame, and what that means in a suburban culture where appearance really is everything and the truth is sacrificed for the veneer of happiness.
Sounds fascinating and as provocative as Really, Really. Break a leg
Thanks.
on all your projects.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for joining us, Paul. Thanks, Frank, for joining us again. Thank you for joining us, and you can follow me at playbyplay at artinfo.com. Till the next edition, see you.
Ono što slijedi jeste priča iz sfere umjetnosti i dizajna i vodimo vas na Evropski sajam lijepih umjetnosti gdje ćete u 60 sekundi vidjeti 60 dijela koja su tamo izložena. Evo, poštovani gledalci, to je bilo sve što se tiče današnjeg Pop Kvarta. Meni je ostalo toliko da vas napomenem da je takmičenje novih autora i dalje aktuelno i da komičnu priču ili pjesmu treba da šaljete na adresu noviautori@rtvatlas.tv. To možete učiniti do petka, kada ćemo zajedno sa predstavnikom nove knjige proglasiti pobjednika za ovu sedmicu i također proglasiti temu koja će biti aktuelna tokom naredne sedmice. To je bilo sve. Do sutra budite dobro i ostanite uz program Atlas televizije. U studiju emisije 5 do 5 čeka vas prelijepa Andreja Muš. Prijatno!